Sometimes they give away these huge cash prizes for different categories that I feel has taken the essence out of their art. This is why on some nights when there is no huge cash prize, most of them vogue or walk down even better. Sometimes when they, not all, are giving away large sums of money, 10,000 to 30,000 for whatever category, it seems to be some sort of scam tied to it. Sometimes the people that have won the category don't get their prize money, which kind of leaves a bad impression on that person's gang as a whole. There's definitely a hierarchy of some sort, because I do notice that some people with higher status can get away with bad behavior, bullying, versus someone who may not be popular within the scene. As I took a closer look within the scene, I came to the conclusion of, I am glad I made the choice to not deal with this particular scene. Most gay people in the ballroom scene would say that the LGBTQIA community is oppressed and bullied the most. Of course, the gays don't want to talk about how the blacks and Latinos, especially in the ballroom scene, can be very racist and nasty towards each other. Things have gotten better over the years, but at one point in time, it was hard for the Latin community to even gain acceptance by blacks in the ballroom scene. Hopefully, after reading the history, you will see why Negroes, Natives, and Latinos need to get along. And that is crazy because, today, two of my favorite performers are of Latin descent. My favorite female figure performance, Christina Richards Westwood, Tsunami, and Alyssa. And then also I love Sanaya too. So those are my top three. But, they are of Latin descent. And so I am glad that they are able to come together and they do get along. Sometimes it's still a lot of racist things that goes on, but it has gotten a lot better than where it was. Continuing on, I pretty much have always accepted my stance of that world is not for me. I never made any attempts to walk a ball, even though I have been to several balls. I think the people in the ballroom scene that are attending the balls can be more mindful of the people who get the venues for the ball. I've seen more than a few times, parentheses, on the shows recapping the ball, where the people who booked the venue would be upset about the damage that was done during the ball. Damage like breaking windows, damaging the property outside, and smoking in the building where they're not supposed to. This damage is the cause of the people throwing the ball getting charged more money for venues. Some of the people in the scene are just very entitled with nothing to really offer but a bad attitude. In the past, I would not date guys that were involved in that world. This was after I dated one of them, of course. It didn't last long because he traveled a lot, and I just didn't believe he was faithful. Later on, my suspicion would be confirmed when his out-of-town lover hit me up, only to get cussed the fuck out. Another issue I had with him was that I felt like he could not turn ballroom off, meaning I am not walking or competing against you, so you don't have to be shady towards me. Also, I am not competing with anyone else for your love. I know that you're used to competing, but I don't compete. They can have you. He always felt that I was coming for him, but that was not the case. I did have questions and wanted to learn what his world was about. I used to tell him all the time to chill because I'm not out to get you. Or he would hate when I would say, I am not about to meet you at the back of the runway, Miss Thing. He would get so heated. He made me feel like I was asking him dumb questions. I asked him, who is Rodeo? He got so upset, he damn near died. He would get defensive when I asked him about his world, so I just stopped being interested. This was back when I was 18 or 19, and this was around 05, 06, 2005, 2006. We stopped talking, and I kind of avoided the ballroom scene altogether. Later on, I will go through a similar situation with a tourist from the ballroom scene. Sometimes I think that people who are the legends, icons, and etc. forget that they too, whether they like it or not, are role models for the younger thems that are coming up. Some of them want to be public figures so bad, but they don't want all the responsibilities that come with it. No, it's not their job to raise people's kids, but it is their job to remember that they are influencing the next generation to come after them. There was a scene in The Devil Wears Prada towards the beginning, right before Andy's makeover. She was whining to Nigel about Miranda, and he told her to quit because she was not trying. She was whining. I am about to make my point. I am just trying to get you to remember the movie. Nigel goes on to describe Runway, the history, the inspiration, and the magic. Nigel said, "You think this is just a magazine? This is not just a magazine. This is a shining beacon of hope for..." And then he goes on to describe his childhood a little bit as a young gay male. He was pretending to go to soccer practice, but really he was going to sewing class and reading Runway under his covers at night with a flashlight. I liken that whole scene to the ballroom scene. Some people that are in the ballroom scene that are icons and legends truly do not know how much they mean to people that they don't even know are watching them. I will never forget watching a very popular father of a house. He's blonde. He appeared on Showtime at the Apollo and then again on the movie Honey. I was like, wow, that is so amazing how he does what he does. What is he doing? I had seen recently, back in the day, he had this old way battle with a very iconic commentator whom I love, who could also vogue and walk runway. These two were always going at it in a good way, but this battle was so lit on how they were both locking with each other. The blonde ended up with his legs locked around the iconic commentator's neck. Some of the people in the scene forget that in modern times, with social media at play, there could be a teenager growing up in a family, parentheses, that is not so accepting of LGBTQIA people. Watching them, how Nigel was under the covers reading Runway with a flashlight. Some people in the ballroom scene could take a lesson from that scene alone. Well, just in case, let me remix it for you. Don't you know that you have been accepted, for those of you who have been accepted and take it for granted, into a space that has produced some of the greatest artists of this century? Willie Ninja, Paris Dupree, Octavia Saint Laurent, and Pepper LaBeija, to name a few. What they did, what they created, was greater than art because you truly do live your lives in it today. Look at where the ballroom scene is at today. Mainstream with things like commercials on Verizon, TV shows on HBO, MTV, FX, Viceland, My House 2018, and Revry, the category is. There are even documentaries on PBS and the History Channel regarding the ballroom scene. Don't you know that you have been accepted, in parentheses for those of you who have been accepted and take it for granted, into a space that has influenced some of the greatest artists of the century? People like Madonna, Beyonce, to name a few. Known artists such as Mary J. Blige and Janet Jackson have even been judges at the more huge popular balls. Recently, I had thought to myself, maybe in the past I was too uptight, and I should give these people another chance. Maybe if I got to know a few of them, my views could be changed. No. Worst mistake ever. I did interact with a few of them via social media, and let's just say it went down in flames. I will give my story on that situation soon, but I did try to support and get to know a few of them, but no. Today I avoid these gay gangs because that is what they are, in my opinion. Gangs. But they call their families houses. Just like in the straight world, you have the Bloods and the Crips. Well, in the gay world, these gay gangs slash houses most of the time label themselves after high-end fashion labels. They have the house, mother slash fathers, the whole gay parent thing. Some of them, I believe, are tied to secret societies or some mob-like organization where some of them can make calls and make good slash bad things happen. I call the house father gangsters, the house mothers are their malls, and their kids are the thugs. Just like in the straight gangs, a lot of the gay gangs participate in all kinds of organized crime like fraud and violence towards each other. There are some individuals with legit businesses, and there are a lot of them who do community outreach, especially with HIV and AIDS. I saw a video on YouTube of some of them fighting. A group of them from one gang was throwing tables, ladders, and chairs at this one person that appeared to be transgender. But Miss Mama's turned into the Incredible Hulk. She caught them all and threw them right back. I was astonished. I was like, I don't know what I am watching, but let me grab this popcorn. I remember seeing another video where this innocent man was sitting on what they call the judges panel. He did not like something about the boy that was walking face, which is a very hilarious category to watch, by the way. So he was disqualified from competing. The boyfriend of the guy that was disqualified maced that innocent man all because of his opinion. The rest of the panel was maced too, including one of my favorite people in the scene. She is the icon with the show about ballroom on the Bingo app. All the old heads call the app Bingo that I was talking about earlier. She's the one that be here for the shit. I said to myself, if they had the balls to mace her, baby, no one is safe. I've seen a few people get maced over the other people's opinions, which is really silly. Now what's crazy is the fact that these people that get upset literally sign themselves up to be judged by other people, and some of them get mad at the results, I guess. They pull guns on each other in the Florida section of the ballroom scene, which is to be expected if you're about to get jumped. A lot of jumping and ganging up on one or two individuals in this scene. There's a lot of prostitution and predatory behavior in this particular scene, whether it's sexual or not. I already shared a story about my friend who didn't want to do drag at first, but did it to get ahead in the scene. Just like in some of the straight gangs, there are some from the gay gangs who do throw events like book bags for kids, they have cookouts, and some do feed the homeless. But overall, I think the bad outweighs the good. I think it's more so the younger generation after Vogue Evolution that has taken the scene to a more cold place. The icons from the 80s through the early 2000s had a more firm grip on the scene than whoever is running it today. And speaking of Vogue Evolution, that is, man, I remember growing up watching them. Vogue Evolution was this team that went on an MTV competition about, dance. It was different dance teams. And man, to see them, like, it was just awesome. I definitely think that after that, they should have all been made icons right then and there. That's something that you celebrate. That's monumental. Wonder Woman, she did her thing, and my favorite Butch Queen Vogue femme, who was Prince Milan, I just always felt like, he should have got his flowers way before him and Deshawn. Two people that truly, truly, truly deserve everything they got and more. I do feel like a lot of the younger generation has this entitlement attitude to where you can't even approach some of them without them feeling like you should beg them for their time. I definitely got that sense from a few of them. In the past, one of them told me that I would only survive in his world if he let me. Then he had the nerve to ask me for $20. Before I blocked him on my phone, I said, "Looks like you are having trouble surviving in your own world." I can see why some of these guys are sought after, because some of them are very beautiful on the outside, but very hollow on the inside. Also, through my investigation, I know for a fact that there is a Cancer, sadly, in his mid to late 20s, a Gemini who I call Ursula, not the king, I actually like him, and two Taurus in particular that claim to meditate and manifest, but what they don't tell you is that they are into voodoo/hoodoo, Santa Maria, Wiccan/craft, aka black magic. A few of them are on the app called Bingo, and baby, that app only magnifies the attitudes that I am speaking on. This next section is about my twin flame journey. I met a divine masculine turned karmic in the ballroom scene that I met on the Bingo app. I never had the pleasure of meeting him or anyone from Bingo in person. Thank God. DJ Play, Get Along With You turned into Caught Out There, I Hate You So Much Right Now by Khalees. Somehow, I ended up downloading this app named Bingo, which is where I met this dude. Bingo is an app where people can broadcast, platform, kind of like on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. But I believe that there is an evil witch coven somewhere within the structure of the organization. I am not sure if the owners of the app know this or not, but I have a hunch that they are aware of the bullying because of how they are cracking down on the bullying on the app, more recently around September/October of 2023. These hosts and agency owners lure people in with the whole make $24,000 a month being a broadcaster. But in order to get that $24,000, you literally have to degrade yourself, sell your soul. Some of the hosts come up with these storylines that anyone with a brain cell can tell is being done for views. Recently, in October of 2023, I came across a video on YouTube by a content creator. I really only watch two content creators who I deem as real media journalists. The first being Lovely T TV, who I've been watching the longest, and the other one named is Armand, who is the best, hands down, when it comes to the men doing topics, media, and female rap. I do like a few others like Larry Reed, Walter Hampton, Impressive, and Nico, to name a few more. The video I came across from Armand was when he was talking about his beef with Jason Lee, when he refused to go onto Bingo, and the things that he was saying. I knew I made the right choice to not become a host because, in my opinion, Bingo is a pyramid scheme, a low vibrational one at that. It reminds me of a high school popularity contest. There was one host, a Scorpio, that I supported. This story is not about him though. I did enjoy my time being a supporter of his, even though we never met in person or exchanged phone numbers. When I first met him, I was very attracted to him physically, I'm not going to lie, but that only goes so far with me. As time went by, with me observing him, I knew that it would not be good for me to connect with him on a sexual level. I could tell that he was really hurt over a few situations that happened in his life, with the most important being his unhealthy obsession over his ex-boyfriend. Anyone can see that he uses alcohol to self-medicate, but since I have been watching him, things have only gotten worse. When he is sober, he is one of the most charming and funniest people you would ever meet, but his behavior is out of control when he is drunk. I have seen him be taken advantage of sexually while he was drunk, and I have seen the numerous altercations he was involved in, all because he can't control his liquor. I also can't deny how I have seen him use people to try and make his ex-boyfriend jealous. It's like most things that he does is to get his ex-boyfriend's attention, but they fight like they're enemies. His ex even shot at him. and they both have put each other in jail. I just hope it doesn't end bad, but I know it could. I prayed that he would learn to release, heal, and move on from the hurt / toxicity that was consuming him. But it's never good when alcohol is involved. I pray for him, period. He has a very serious / dangerous addiction to alcohol that if he does not heal from, it will lead to peril. And side note, you wanna know who I feel bad for? Y'all wanna know who I feel? I feel bad for the Atlanta Police Department. Baby. I feel bad for the Atlanta Police Department because, man, if they could only see like how they are used, like to, I don't know, and to do the will of someone else. You know, people be antagonizing and doing all kind of stuff, and then they fight, and then they want to call the police. You know, they want to try to get somebody locked up or in jail. I feel so bad for the Atlanta Police Department, man, because it's just like, if they only knew this app, bingo, a lot of these hosts, especially down in Atlanta, man, they be doing all kind of stuff to each other and then calling the police trying to get each other in trouble. And so it's like they using the police department to do their bidding, you know, trying to get somebody locked up or something like that. So that's who I really feel sorry for. But anyway, continuing on, I want him to know that me walking away from the app had nothing to do with him personally. I just felt like our time had come to an end. I felt very much, who was I to tell him how to live his life? I was not going to watch him skip down the path to destruction in which he is doing. He has, parentheses, at that time, a very popular friend that is a celebrity. I actually like this Pisces. If the Pisces ever reads this or comes across this, I just want to say thank you for airing out who I believe is the head of the coven, a Cancer in his mid to late 20s. I don't care how people say, oh, you sat with them knowing this and that. Baby, so what? He did what was right, and I love how he was a friend to the Scorpio. He is his only real friend on the app, to me, from what I've seen. I watched one of my friends meet his demise due to drugs and alcohol. I couldn't do it again, but I take my hat off to him. I am praying for his strength, and I am still praying for the Scorpio too, because I want to see him overcome. He is a special dude. He is so damn funny. He has this smile and his goofy laugh that I will always remember. Although I would never come back to the app, I wish him the best and just praying for his safety because he is surrounded by snakes, excluding the Pisces. Someone close to him even harasses his supporters, trying to stop his support / followers, but I know he will be good. He has natural talent. He doesn't have to put on wigs or have a gimmick to get his support. He is just himself, and people rock with him because he is so damn goofy. I believe people genuinely care about him. There's a lot of competition / fighting over money within the group, and it's all stirred and fueled by a young male Cancer. The Cancer did an interview that I have saved where he was speaking on how he manifested his social media career. But manifesting is not scamming, stealing, and causing chaos between others. While he is manifesting, I also believe he is into black magic as well, and his negative energy perceives him. Not too many people like him because of his evil ways. Like I said, the celebrity Pisces aired him out, and I said as I was watching, those are all characteristics of an evil-ass kitchen witch. This is someone who does not care about who they throw under the bus, no matter how close you think the two of you are. He reminds me of him, the devil-looking dude in the heel boots from the Powerpuff Girls, or Stuart from Mad TV. Look what I can do. This is someone who everyone swears is fired off the app, but one minute he says he is at work, and then the next minute he says he don't work there. This man literally fooled people This man has literally fooled people into thinking that he is some big cashy media personality when he is just like most of them with their nasty attitudes. Parentheses, nothing but glorified beggars. I mean, I have never seen so many self-proclaimed important people make begging look so good. Then will try to shame others for whatever materials a person might not have, like he literally is not begging for cash apps on an app that he allegedly got fired from due to engaging in sexual conversations with a minor. I believe the boy was 16 at the time. It's rumors about him having medical issues, but he will shame others about their medical issues and even go as far as exposing people's medical records. I view all that trying to shame others about material possessions a person doesn't have is to make himself feel better about the holes he has in his soul, if he even has a soul. This is a person where it's okay for him to do whatever, like sleeping with the same dude after he will clown others for sleeping with that dude. He will be sneaky and sleep with that person even after their medical history is put on blast. Like I said, when he does it, it's all good, but when others do it, it's loser this, late that. They have the nerve to say, God is blessing me. Yeah, the God of this world, parentheses, Satan, is blessing him, all right. He worked for the devil. This is no shade towards a Scorpio, but if bingo really is a secret society / witch coven type ordeal, I would not be surprised if he became upset with me for my abrupt halt in being one of his supporters and participated in the black magic that was sent towards me. The black magic that was sent towards me did not work, so I'm not fazed or moved. Most of these people on the gay side of the app are violent, low vibrational, and a lot of them argue over the stupidest things like money and material possessions. To me, all victims of Willie Lynch. I mean, these are people who use word magic and manipulation to control others. I thought I was mean. Baby, I have nothing on some of these people. The overall reason why I left the app and stopped being a supporter. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw theyself. 1 Timothy 6:5, King James Version. It became apparent to me that these folks did not want truth. They want the fighting and arguing over the stupidest thing. I think the app drains people's energy in some type of way. I have heard multiple hosts saying how they feel that their energy is drained after a few days of broadcasting. Some of them say the meanest things to each other, and then will be friends the same day. Mind blown. They have couples on there that will claim that they are not together, but they still deal with each other on the DL, especially in ATL. I'm speaking about one couple in particular, and they are both in the ballroom scene. In private, neither of them wants the other to move on, and any new lover that might come into the picture for either side will have black magic done on them by the ex. These two clowns are using innocent people to make each other jealous. Neither of them realize how they are playing with innocent people's lives, all because they are both so stubborn trying to prove a point to each other. They, along with the bearded lady obsessed with them, all will be burned by the sun.